This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 1st day of June in the year 2023. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Notorious convicted murderer and prison escapee Royden Williams, also known as Smalley, was shot dead during an armed confrontation with members of the Joint Services this morning, the Ghana Police Force has reported. The police also confirmed that an accomplice of the escapee was also shot dead in the confrontation. The accomplice has been identified as Odell Roberts, also known as Gullyside, who was acquitted 3 years ago on a murder charge. The escapee and his accomplice were reportedly cornered at 33 miles Bartico Potaro in Region 7. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham, while confirming the two deaths, would not offer any details about the operation. 2 weeks ago, the death row inmate made a daring escape from the Mazaruni prison as a boatload of armed gunmen provided protection for him. His escape resulted in 6 persons, including 4 prison officers being charged in connection with his escape, and another man who was named as an accomplice being shot dead by the Joint Services. A $10 million reward for information leading to his recapture was also offered by the state. Williams' escape from the high-security prison in Mazaruni raised a number of questions about security at the jailhouse and special treatment being given to certain inmates. One of the persons charged in connection with the escape is a Venezuelan woman who reportedly visited him moments before the escape. Questions have been raised as to how the foreign national, who worked as a cook and a lady of the night in the interior region, was granted permission and clearance to visit the death row inmate. This was not the first time that the notorious criminal escaped from prison. Back in 2017, the then dreadlock man made good an escape from the Camp Street jail after fire was set to the building. He was caught a few months later. He was charged and found guilty in connection with the February 2008 Bartica massacre. He was also charged and found guilty in connection with the murder of a member of the Ghana Defense Force. Williams was facing the death penalty in connection with those convictions.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say, but now that it's here, it will change life forever, and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord. I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup.
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? You know, I just pay my bills using MMG, you know.
Yes, Jack, and the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No, the only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man, Jack, you didn't know that? Yes, all self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions
All right.
first.
Take care. For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Let's tell you now that 19 school-age girls escaped unhurt when the St. Angela's Girls Hostel in the village of Karasabai, Region 9 went up in flames this morning. In a statement, the Guyana Fire Service confirmed that all of the occupants of the dorm facility were evacuated, but the entire building was destroyed by fire. The Ghana Police Force, in a separate statement, said 4 male students were arrested in connection with the fire. According to the police, the 4 boys had threatened to set fire to the building after they were chased from the premises by the caretaker. They allegedly subsequently followed through with the threat. Region 9 Regional Democratic Councillor Marlon Edwards, who resides in Karasabai, told News Source that the community is grateful that no one was injured in the blaze.
Fortunately, the building is not heavily grilled, and so the students, all of them, which is 17 of them who were in the building at that time, managed to escape without any harm.
The regional councillor confirmed that the fire consumed the entire building, resulting in significant losses.
At the moment, we do not know the origin of the fire. However, investigations are ongoing. We have in the community here a number of technical persons from the Ministry of Education. Also, we have here with us presently the Minister of Home Affairs and the Chief Education Officer from the Ministry of Education.
Edwards said the St. Angela's Girls Hostel was built and managed by the Catholic Church and accommodated school-age girls from other far-flung villages within the district.
And the hostel was built by the Catholic Church on a self-help basis. It was done to help ease the burden of having students stay with guardians, students that are from the outlying communities in the sub-district and are attending the Karasabai Secondary Department.
This is the second major fire to hit Guyana's education sector within days. Just over a week ago, a deadly fire killed a total of 20 children, including a 5-year-old boy, at the Madia Secondary School female dormitory. Several other schoolgirls were injured. President Irfan Ali, who has led the relief efforts, has announced that a commission of inquiry will be conducted into the deadly Madia blaze. There have been calls by the opposition for government ministers to resign over the deadly Madia fire. Pilot and businessman Orlando Charles appeared in the Bartica Magistrates Court virtually this morning and was charged on 16 counts of trafficking in persons. He is accused of trafficking 16 Venezuelan nationals over the past 2 months. Charles pleaded not guilty to each of the 16 charges and was granted bail in the total sum of $1.3 million. Earlier this week, the Ghana Police Force issued a wanted bulletin for the pilot after receiving the trafficking in person complaints against him. In response, the pilot issued a statement denying the allegations and indicating that the persons making the complaints against him were foreign workers who had a dispute with him over salaries that were paid to them. The man said he was surprised with the allegations since he played no part in transporting the workers to Guyana and never held them against their will. Charles is expected in court in the next 2 weeks. Residents of Hillfoot on the Soos-Linden Highway clashed with the joint services for a second day today as they launched a fiery protest in response to the demolition of their homes. The protest saw residents blocking sections of the highway with debris and setting fire to tires and pieces of wood. The demolition was reportedly carried out by a private developer who owns the land and wants the squatters off. The police said a court order was secured to get the squatters off the land. But persons became incensed as a demolition crew moved into the community on Wednesday and started to mow down the wooden houses, leading to the protests. Today, the affected residents told reporters that they were forcibly removed from their homes by the police and were made to watch helplessly as their homes were bulldozed, leaving them homeless. One resident told reporters that she was in her home when the police swarmed it and later overlooked its demolition.
This is how the police bulldozing you out your house. Mr. Davis was orchestrating it. If you see them, you can't go in for pack up your things them. When you think, well, check, this missing, don't missing, don't missing. When the police come, he tear off his shirt for fight me son. Because the boy said, don't break up his mother things.
According to the woman, she took up residence in the area more than 1 year ago. In tears, another resident told reporters all of her life's earnings were destroyed.
This is still because you know why we work hard for we suffer and have to do with this. This is not right. This is not right, and we make sacrifice to come and build. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Look, yesterday come and see the children in the grass, the babies in the grass. This is unfair. Hot sun. Oh my God, these people ain't got a heart.
Some residents said the situation has left parents trying to figure out their next move.
The parents can't even provide for them now because where the parents going to be? They can't go to school. The children cannot go to school today. Look at all these children. Where are the children? Yeah, bring the children. Me just see. For the night, these children and cheap. Parents in sleep. Everybody just there studying what next. Nobody's coming to our rescue. I don't know what's going on in this country. This country getting from bad to worse. Mr. President, I want you to listen to this. We are human. We are human. We is not animal. We are human. We are Guyanese. You said one Guyanese. What happened to this one Guyanese that you're speaking about?
While the government has sought to distance itself from what it called a private matter, the opposition APNU noted that agents of the state were used to overlook the displacement of citizens in a crude manner, and that cannot be ignored.
What is more saddening is that the regime is prepared to arm the Guyana police force and use force against the people of Guyana, rather than address the real challenges that face the mass of people. The destruction of people's property by the regime and its friends, families, and favorites is unacceptable and must be condemned by all.
In a separate statement, APNU AFC Member of Parliament Geeta Chandan Edmund, who holds responsibility for public security, said the incident was regrettable, as she too condemned the actions of the police. But the government, in firing back, said it was not responsible for the demolition exercise, explaining that there has been an ongoing dispute between the squatters and the owner of the property. It said following a civil court ruling, the landowner demolished one of the structures on the land on Wednesday. However, though not addressing the actions of the police, the government urged the residents of Hillfoot to desist from blocking the highway. It said it remains committed to fast-tracking processing of land applications for the affected residents.
The voting process. When you go to the polling station to vote on local government elections day, you will follow these steps. Step 1. Check the official list of voters at the polling station to ensure you are listed there to vote. Step 2. Present your ID card to the GCOM official. Your ID card will be verified along with your name, address, ID number, and photograph on a folio that will be at the polling station. Step 3. The GCOM official will check your fingers for electoral ink and, if none is found, give you a ballot paper and provide directions for marking and folding it. The GCOM official must stamp the back of your ballot paper at the top half and bottom half with the 6-digit number of the polling station. Step 4. Proceed to the voting compartment to mark your ballot and fold it as you were shown. Step 5. Show the folded ballot to the clerk. Dip your finger in the electoral ink and place your ballot paper into the ballot box. Step 6. Peacefully leave the polling station. For more information, contact the GCOM hotlines on 225-027729, 226-6557 or 223-9650 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. LGE is Monday, June 12.
So, champ, I passed here last week and this shop lock up tight.
Why? We come down with the flow, so we have to take a couple of days.
I can't deal with them kind of setbacks, Bano. I just get a headache when you see I can't make me little bread.
I know them ways, champ, but thank God for NIS.
NIS? What you got to do now with NIS?
I mean, what I got to do with NIS? I register as self-employed and I make monthly contributions to NIS. So you see, for them days I lose, NIS pay me back for most of them days.
What? That is good. You know, I always used to believe that it's only people in big offices and so they pay NIS.
Nah man, NIS for any working person between the ages of 16 to 60. And as self-employed, you get all the benefit as an employee except for industrial benefits.
So what I do for set up this thing?
All I gotta do is visit NIS on Breakdown, or if you're living out of town, you visit any NIS closest to your location. And once you register and your registration complete, you can start making NIS contributions.
Alright, so what I walk with and like how much money I gotta pay a month?
I ain't gotta walk with no big money. All I gotta walk with is your birth certificate and any farm ID. And when you reach down there, ask for the compliance department.
Good. Thanks for the information, bro. As soon as I left here, I went straight to the NIS office.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Executive member of the People's National Congress, Murphy Williams, today called for a thorough and open investigation into the deadly Madia school dorm fire to be completed. The call by the PNC comes on the heels of murder charges being laid against the 15-year-old who is alleged to have started the fire. During a press conference today, Mr. Williams said the laying of charges against the schoolgirl before all the facts are presented is unfortunate.
Equally unfortunate is the fact that a young female student has been charged with 19 counts of murder, even before the conclusion of a thorough investigation into this matter. After a thorough investigation, if it is found that the circumstances surrounding the devastating fire, that the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Regional Development through the Regional Democratic Council of Region 8, and the Ministry of Marine Affairs failed in their duties to ensure compliance with fire safety regulations, we urge that civil proceedings be initiated against them.
President Irfan Ali has already declared that a commission of inquiry will be launched to investigate the deadly fire. Nevertheless, Mr. Williams said the families of the deceased as well as the community of Madia need closure, and that closure can only be given if there is an open, transparent and honest account of what took place. He said the parents of students staying at other school dormitories need to be assured that their children are safe.
This devastating incident at Madia Secondary School is a stark reminder of the dangers our children now face under the current government and the necessity of stringent adherence to safety standards. The Guyana Standard Code of Practice for Buildings and the Ministry of Education's Safe School Protocol provide comprehensive guidelines to prevent such disasters.
He said if any investigation reveals non-compliance with these standards or negligence in adhering to the guidelines, then it will be equal to a clear breach of duty by those in charge of looking after the safety and well-being of the children. Mr. Williams said it is important that there be accountability in the matter. He said the Ministry of Education should come up with an urgent plan to deal with many of the issues being raised. The Guyana Trade Union Congress has accused the government of parading the victims of the Madia dorm fire tragedy and their families, further deepening the emotional and psychological trauma already experienced by them. In a statement, the GTUC said based on consultation with mental health practitioners, the parading of injured children and the grieving families could do more harm than good to their emotional and psychological well-being. It explained that reaction to trauma could lead to a multiplicity of responses from the victims, such as anxiety, behavioral changes, nightmares, and difficulty sleeping and eating, among others. The union said no expense should be spared to provide the survivors and their families and the affected communities with the requisite therapy and other support to restore normalcy in their lives. The GTUC said at this tragic time, the country ought to unite and the government should have taken all hands on board. It said the tragedy should have seen the involvement of the political opposition, trade unions representing the workers in the school, the religious community within the area, among other stakeholders. It said President Ali and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey Norton, must engage in the matter. Further, it condemned the murder charges laid against the 15-year-old girl accused of setting the facility on fire and urged that those charges be dropped pending a complete assessment of the matter. The union body said it welcomes the conduct of a commission of inquiry but believes the terms of reference should be made known. It said the COI must not only examine what caused the fire but also identify the institutions, policymakers, and technicians responsible for the safety and security of the building, consistent with modern building codes, but also the conditions under which the staff and students work and live. As members of the disciplined forces gear up to cast their votes in the local government elections on Friday, General Secretary of the PPP, Vice President Bar Jagdio, is urging them to support his party.
I wish to, as General Secretary of the PPP, urge members of our disciplined forces to think carefully before you vote.
Jagdio said members of the disciplined forces should remember that it is his government that returned the year-end bonus for them.
This is why, in opposition, we made a commitment that we shall restore the 1 month tax-free bonus. And we have done that faithfully since we got into office. We kept our promise to the disciplined forces of the country. Today, that 1 month tax-free bonus costs $1.3 billion. That is what the disciplined forces get now that they would not have gotten had APNU been in power.
In accordance with the Local Authorities Election Act, members of the disciplined forces will cast their votes for local leaders tomorrow. Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Elections Commission, Yolanda Ward, said members of the Ghana Police Force, the Ghana Defense Force, and the Ghana Prison Service will cast their ballots wherever they are stationed across the country.
The ballot paper that the ranks will use to vote on Discipline Services Day is no different from the ballots that electors will use on local government elections day, which is June 12th. What happens is that ranks, as you know, are placed all across the country outside of the areas where they live. Mm-hmm. So, for example, a rank may be from Berbice, but he is placed at Camarang in Region 7. And so in the case of local government elections, he has to vote within the local authority area where he is registered to vote. So it means therefore that while that rank will be cast in his ballot on the day at Camarang, because he's stationed there, the ballot that he will receive is going to be a representation of the local elections in the LAA where he resides.
Voting will take place from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The rest of the country will vote on June 12th.
Know your polling station before Elections Day. GCOM is urging all voters to find out the polling stations where they are registered to vote at the upcoming local government elections. GCOM has established an Office of the Returning Officer in every local authority area. You can visit the Office of the Returning Officer to find out at which polling station you are registered to vote. GCOM has also posted the registers of voters and lists of polling stations on its website www.gcom.org.gy. Visit the GCOM website and enter your ID number in the cell provided for this purpose to get clear directions about the location of your polling station where you can vote. For more information, contact the GCOM hotlines on 225-0277-9, 226-6557 or 223-9650 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. LGE is Monday, June 12.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, the Antigua and Barbuda Workers' Trade Union has accused the government of showing contempt and disregard for workers. The accusation follows Prime Minister Gaston Brung urging to former employees of the cash-strapped regional airline Liat to accept his administration's compassionate offer. Brung had also accused the union of engaging in politics over the matter. But ABWTU in a statement said that in his broadcast, Prime Minister Brung displayed a most despicable display of arrogance and condescending rhetoric in his continued attempt to bully and silence the cries of the workers of Liat. ABWTU General Secretary David Masai said he wanted to make it abundantly clear to Prime Minister Brung that the union will not rest until the workers of Liat receive just compensation for the termination of their services. Brazil's lower house of Congress approved late last night a bill that curtails powers of the Ministries of the Environment and Indigenous Affairs. The approval marks a further setback for Lula's environmental agenda, which was also handed a defeat on Tuesday when lawmakers passed a bill that limited the recognition of new indigenous reservations. The bill was passed on Wednesday and was sent to the Senate, which must approve it today, or it will expire. In the approved bill, lawmakers removed land decisions from the Indigenous Affairs Ministry, while the Registry of Rural Lands, a vital tool to stop deforestation, will be managed by the Agriculture Ministry and not the Ministry of Environment. And finally tonight, international news. BRICS foreign ministers on Thursday asserted their bloc's ambition to rival Western powers, but their talks in South Africa were overshadowed by questions over whether Russia's president would be arrested if he attended a summit in August. South Africa's Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor said her country was mulling options if Vladimir Putin, the subject of a war crimes arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, came to the planned BRICS summit in Johannesburg. As a member of the ICC, South Africa would theoretically be required to arrest Putin, and Pandor was bombarded with questions about that as she arrived at the first rung of talks with representatives from Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Putin has not confirmed his plans, with the Kremlin only saying Russia would take part at the proper level. The ICC accused Putin in March of the war crime of forcibly deporting children from Russia-occupied territory in Ukraine. Moscow denies the allegation. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.